Before we begin today, I wanted to advertise that I finally got around to creating a suggestion box. If there is anything that you would like to see covered or explored in a video, I encourage you to click or tap on the links page in the description of this video and go to Suggestion Box. I am writing a full raid guide that will be as comprehensive as I can make it, so if you have any tips or tricks for any chapter, or if you have any questions that maybe I can answer, please let me know in that suggestion box. Also, after my last video, a few of you went over and followed me on Twitch. I really appreciate that support. If you would like to join me and watch my live streams where I play Heroes of Middle-earth, as well as Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, among some other things, then you can also check out the links page in the description and find my Twitch channel there. Now, let's get on with the video. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts because glyphs are finally here. That means speed is about to be king. Last week, CG dropped the announcement that glyphs are right around the corner. So today, I want to give you an explanation on what a glyph is and what to expect when they arrive. Punch it! Whoa, 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 whoa! Ooh. Oh, man. Whew. Whoever owns that car is not gonna be happy. Anyway. Play the music. No, 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 no! Thank you. Okay. You might be asking, what is a glyph? Well, if you've ever played Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, you should be pretty familiar. The glyphs in Heroes of Middle-earth work basically the same exact way. The only difference is that the sets provide a sort of passive ability instead of a stat boost. You are going to apply up to 6 glyphs to a character, either a major set of 4 and a minor set of 2, or 3 minor sets of 2. That choice is going to be based on your preferences. Each glyph is going to have multiple stats associated with them, but don't worry. Hopefully, by the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how it works. Before we talk about what the glyphs do, I want to talk about the runic symbols that are in the artwork. As you can see here, there are 9 different symbols, 4 for the major glyphs, and 5 for the minor glyphs. The runes used on the 4 major glyphs are based on Tengwar, that is the written alphabet used by the elf languages of Quenya, Talaran, and Sindarin. The 4 major glyphs are Lembas, Last Stand, Vitality, and Withering. The runes used on the 5 minor glyphs are based on Kirth, that is the alphabet used by the dwarves to write out their Khuzdul language. The 5 minor glyphs are Bloodlust, Life Stealer, Raider, Shield Wall, and Armor Piercer. Think of these alphabets as like how the Latin alphabet is used to write out English, Spanish, French, and other European languages. The runes don't exist in the scripts, but you can see the inspiration. Now, let's talk in a little more detail about what glyphs do. Glyphs are a way for you to change the stats of your characters. You can give them more speed, or strength, or maybe you want to give that Ironhide even more armor. You can do that with glyphs. Oh. Now, glyphs have 3 kind of stat boosts. The set, the primary stat, and the secondary stats. Each of these are independent of one another, but they're all going to have a positive impact on your characters. Now, we're going to go over how all this works, so stick with me. Where do you get glyphs, and how do you get them? Well, this was answered here in the dev update, as well as over in the Q&A a little bit. You'll find them on designated normal and hard nodes in the light and shadow campaigns, as well as in raid rewards and in the supplies. Maybe now there will be a more significant difference between chest 2 and chest 3. It seems like you'll have to use your regular energy to farm for glyphs instead of a designated energy type. In the Q&A, they also revealed that glyphs will be in the daily 4-hour chest, so there will be some strain on where you're using your energy, but it shouldn't be too bad, at least for now. That may change in the future. Once you obtain glyphs, there will be a new menu in the game where you go to manage them. That is, where you go to upgrade them and to sell the ones you don't want or need for gold. What is a roll? Well, the phrase additional rolls will be applied refers to the secondary stats getting an extra boost as the glyph levels up, similar to when you upgrade a mod in Galaxy of Heroes. Also, like Galaxy of Heroes, there will be a limit on the number of glyphs you can have in your inventory. 500 plus 6 per unlocked character. So you'll probably find yourself selling glyphs a decent bit, just to make room for better ones. As I mentioned, the rolls come from leveling up your glyphs. There are 10 glyph levels, each one contributing to the power of the glyph. At levels 2 through 5, you are revealing new secondary stats at each level. Here, at levels 6 through 10, you are receiving an additional roll per level. Now, it is possible for one secondary stat to receive all 4 additional rolls, so be on the lookout for that. Take a look at this graphic here from the Q&A, and it'll show you the possible range of boosts for each secondary stat. Now, the primary stat is always going to increase to a set number per level, and this is the graphic from the Q&A that shows you the numbers for each level per primary stat. The first 5 levels only require gold to upgrade, but the last 5 levels require these, spells. Each glyph level will require an increasing amount of gold and spells. Enchantment spells will be obtained on the personal reward track in the raid, as well as the guild chests. Illusion spells will also be on the personal reward track, and in the supplies for regular raid currency. And then sorcery spells will be on the personal reward track, and in the supplies for mithril currency. In the Q&A, we got this graphic showing the cost of leveling up glyphs as it currently stands. Pause and take some time to look over this graphic and the graphics with the stats. Keep in mind that a character can only take advantage of the primary stat on a glyph up to their gear tier. That means that even if a glyph is, say, level 9, if you're equipping it to a character that is gear tier 5, you could still equip it, but they're only going to gain the benefits of that primary stat as if the glyph was level 5. Now let's talk about the difference between a set, a primary stat, and a secondary stat, starting with the set. As I mentioned earlier, each glyph has a symbol on it that represents one of the 9 sets. When you build a set on a character, the set sort of acts like another passive ability. There are 4 major sets and 5 minor sets. A major set requires 4 glyphs to complete. A minor set requires 2 glyphs to complete. I want to read each set and then tell you what character I believe may see some benefit from them. Starting with the major sets, first we have Lembas. On wave start, gain 1 stamina. The first time each ability is used in a wave, gain 1 stamina. This will help a character get to their Special 2 ability 1 turn quicker. The term wave also indicates that this will work on all 3 waves of a campaign node. Think about Illidan's Special 2 ability. Normally, you would wait to use it until turn 2, but with the Lembas set, you can fire it on turn 1 and start that chain of using it every turn. Next is Last Stand. In each wave, the first time this character falls below 25% health, gain 100% turn meter, dispel 3 banes, and gain 1 stamina. I believe that tanks will benefit greatly from this. Ironhide is pretty slow, so giving him both a free turn and potentially one of his AoE abilities back sounds pretty powerful. This would also be pretty solid for Ugluk and even Lord Elrond. Next is Vitality. Whenever this character is critically hit and has fewer than 3 stacks of regeneration, gain 1 stack of regeneration for 1 turn. There are a few characters that could benefit from this set. At the top of my mind are Lomian, Elrahir, Arwen, and Lord Balin. Arwen gains turn meter with her special 1 ability for each boon. With this set, she could constantly have boons to benefit from. The final major set is Withering. When this character inflicts a Bane on their turn, they deal 15% true damage. Limit once per turn per target. I'm sure you guys are well aware of what Isengard does. The Withering set really gives a boost to a team that already inflicts a ton of Banes. If you make sure to use glyphs with focus primaries and secondaries, you're really looking at a potent team. There are also 5 minor sets. Minor sets are a little less powerful, but it only takes 2 glyphs to activate the effect. That means that you can apply up to 3 sets on a single character. The first minor set is Bloodlust. Whenever this character defeats an enemy, gain 30% turn meter. I can't help but think about Ajak. He already has 2 abilities that trigger on an enemy death. This set, which seems pretty powerful for a minor set actually, gives Ajak yet another ability when he kills an enemy. If you pair this with the Withering set, it could be a really good combo for Ajak. The effect of the Bloodlust set also stacks if a character kills more than 1 enemy. If they kill 3 enemies at the same time, that character gains 90% turn meter. If they kill 4 or more, they gain over 100% turn meter, also giving them priority in the turn order to take the next turn. Next is Life Stealer. Gain 2% Life Steal. It's short, sweet, and to the point. Gaining life every time you hit an enemy is pretty good. Just about any character could benefit from this set. And while none of us obviously have them built up yet, I'm still imagining that the characters from Dol Guldur could use it to offset some of the damage that they deal to themselves. Third is Raider. Deal 2% more damage against enemies with more than 50% health. This set is pretty broad. It's good filler for an attacker. I think teams that lag in the attack stat will benefit the most from this set. A team like Road to Rivendell with lower than average attack stats, other than Strider, could really make use of the Raider set. Next up is Shield Wall. When this character has Taunt or Provoke, take 3% less damage. Well, this one is pretty obvious. It only applies to characters that taunt, which is mostly reserved for tanks, Rebel, and the teammates of Bifur. This just keeps your tanks alive longer. You know that you'll need a minor set to complete Illidan. This is probably the one. Our final set is Armor Piercer. Gain 2% armor piercing. Very similar to Raider, this feels pretty generic for attackers or maybe some support characters that you want to give a little boost to. Next, let's talk about primary and secondary stats. The possible primary stats for a glyph are determined by the shape of that glyph, or the slot that they fit in. Glyphs in slot 1 always have a health primary, glyphs in slot 2 always have a damage primary, glyphs in slot 3 always have an armor primary, glyphs in slot 4 can have a health, damage, armor, or focus primary, glyphs in slot 5 can have a health, damage, armor, or resistance primary, and glyphs in slot 6 can have a health, damage, armor, focus, or resistance primary. As I mentioned earlier, the primary provides a set boost to its named stat based on the glyph's level. Here is that graphic again for you to look at. Along with the primary stat, each glyph has 4 secondary stats. These secondaries are a smaller percentage-based buff to their named stat. Stats that appear as secondary stats are health, damage, armor, focus, resistance, crit chance, crit damage, block chance, block mitigation, and speed. Speed is the only secondary stat that provides a flat value boost instead of a percentage-based value. When a secondary is first revealed, it will provide between 0.5 and 3%, depending on what stat it is and your luck. I talked about rolls earlier. A roll is simply improving the stat bonus of one of the secondary stats. This is also RNG or luck-based. There's RNG in which stat gets the boost, and RNG in how big that boost is. On this chart, you can see the range of improvement each roll can provide per stat. A quick note about speed, in the dev update, they mentioned that while the speed secondaries can change the turn order, they won't provide enough of a boost to allow characters to lap one another in the turn order. The max improvement you can get on speed is 45, and that is with 6 perfect glyphs. This is obviously different from Galaxy of Heroes, where you can improve a character's speed by hundreds with the right mods. In fact, the current slowest character in Heroes of Middle-earth is the Brute. Even with 6 perfect glyphs, the Brute would still be slower than every Hobbit except for Samwise Gamgee. So it will be a great improvement, but still pretty balanced. I want you to keep 2 things in mind. 1, any sort of speculation in this video is completely based on my experience in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. After the Q&A, we have a pretty good idea of how glyphs will work, so I'm confident in the information I've provided. 2, as the Q&A graphics state, these numbers are subject to change. CG may very well receive a litany of complaints about the numbers and be forced to change them, although I've heard mostly positive things from the community. Or maybe glyphs make one or more particular characters overpowered. Anything is possible at this stage of development, so keep an open mind. Alright everyone, that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Are you excited, or nervous, or angry about glyphs? Did I miss anything important? Let people know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you back here next time. Hey, that's my car! Oh, that's time to go. Oh. You could definitely dude, what am I doing? No, we're not peeking. We're good. Oh. Dude, my feet are in the shot. I don't like that. This thing's crusty, dude. Get out of here. The 5 minor glyphs are Bloodlust. I was so close. I'm hungry. I'm hungry, dude. It's like I can't remember 2 lists that are separated by, like, some wording. Quenya. It's, keep in mind... yeah, keep that in mind, baby. Now we're raiding, baby.